Welcome to the Money Collective podcast. We're here to uplift your financial well-being. Your hosts are me, Mel Pierce, and Darlene 𝐤𝐢. We are the co-founders of the Money Collective, and together we have over 50 years of finance and banking experience. We provide the tools, information and guidance to better understand your money and feel confident making money decisions. Hello, podcast team.
Welcome back.
Mel and Darlene with Uplift Your Financial Wellbeing with the Money Collective, and here to talk all things finance again, but wellbeing, always with a wellbeing lens.
We love it.
We do.
I hope you've listened.
Like literally, we love it. Like you can't keep us down. It's like we just hit record on our normal conversation, really.
Right. That's exactly it.
This is how the podcast came about, because we were like, oh, maybe we should record this.
All
these good ideas we have.
That's right, because then we forget about those ideas. So it's good to record them and remember them. There's always, new little light bulbs.
Exactly.
Every week.
Yeah. Cool. So we always start off with a bit of a truth, and you're in the deep
Apparently,
end.
I'm going first.
Yes, you are.
Okay. I want to continue my story from the last podcast, and it was about my daughter Lily, who's 15. Shout out again, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
I really have to let her know to listen to the 2 episodes. She might not, but she's recently got her first time job, and she is navigating, as I mentioned in the last podcast, about how to manage social life and money. Oh my gosh, I love this learning. It is so interesting to watch as like, I feel like I'm a, psychiatrist watching and seeing what she's learning. But she, this weekend, she thought she was available Sunday night. And then she hadn't been asked to work. The way it rolls is they give her like a bit short time notice about working. And so she decided that she could stay at a friend's house instead, and so she emailed them
so she hadn't got the call up for work yet.
No, to be fair,
not working.
That's right.
Organised them a sleepover,
right? And she organised herself, to stay.
Do they call them sleepovers anymore?
I don't think so.
Think
they do.
I don't think so.
No.
Staying at a mate's house.
Staying at a mate's house.
Yeah. Okay.
So she was doing that. But also, what happened on Saturday, just to bring you back to that story. So no work this weekend, so that means no money, right? She's chosen a social life, but she got paid last Thursday, and it was the biggest pay. She got $174.50, which was so exciting. She's never had a pay like that in her life, right? And it's like burning a hole in her pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So she got it on Thursday. Saturday, she came out and she said, I really would like a TV in my room.
Ooh.
And I said,
can you get one for $174.50?
I'll tell you the story. Yes. But this is learning for us all. And if I have my time again, I'd like advice on what to do differently.
Sure. Let's go.
Anyway. So she came out. She had a friend there too. So they always are very clever.
Ganged up on you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Power
they both
numbers.
come out.
Got it.
Yeah. So they come out and it makes it quite difficult sometimes to navigate that. So first of all, they decided they were going to rearrange a room, which is pretty cool. So off they did. They actually had a bit of a clean out and revamped a room.
She's smart. She's used the free labour. Love it.
Yes. Yeah, she's good at that too. Yeah. So which is pretty cool. And they were making a space for the TV.
Got it.
That was the reason. Right. So then the space was there. So, must fill it, get the TV. So she came out and she said, I'd really like a TV. And I said, well, put it on your Christmas list. We can, work it out. Maybe it's a Christmas present. Oh, no, that's way too long to, And then her friend got online and said, well, what can you buy one for? So she had about $280 altogether. And they found one for a smart TV for $199. She said it doesn't need to be anything flash, just something I can, stream on rather than the little laptop screen she's got for school. So they come out and said, Harvey Norman has one for $199. And I thought, okay. So I got online and she said, well, they said, can you take us? Can you take us? So I first made a mistake.
Is it though?
Okay, this is where I'm at,
So
right?
I think no mistake currently because she's making her own choices and decisions.
That's where I was
You're
at
not-
because
Well, you're
life owns our
facilitating-
kids, not me. She's got to
Otherwise,
learn.
you're taking the decision. You're saying no, you can't if you don't take her to the shops. She
Right.
has no other mode of transport.
right.
Right. What else?
That
I
was
think
my
this
view.
is okay.
My view. My husband Dennis thinks that I shouldn't have taken her to the shops.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But this is right. So I'm on that train too.
Right.
I'm on that train about our kids living their lives, having choices, making their own mistakes, seeing how all that goes. So I took them. So far, so good. And then she saw the one for $199.
No good. Did you
It's
upgrade
too-
the TV, Darlene?
So she
Dennis might
it was
have a
32
point.
inch.
Coming to think about it,
It was yes,
is
because
that,
again,
is 32
Lily knows
inches
me,
a small
right?
TV or a big TV? It sounds big. That
Well,
seems
I thought
large.
it was all right. It was a bit bigger than like a monitor screen, but apparently not big enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So then she was looking at the cheapest 40-inch one, which is the next one, and that they had a sale on. It was $344.
I've
Yeah.
got-
So we
Wait.
had a discussion around getting that or not. I should have walked out. So what I wish I'd done is you're going to have to save your money and we'll come back.
Yes.
But what I did under pressure was say yes, but there's conditions. So there's 2 big jobs that she has to do
Yes.
by the June long weekend to
Yes.
earn $100 around the house. Or
That TV still would have
it's
been
not
there
$100.
during long
It's
weekend.
$64. $64 she has to pay off.
Yep.
But then the other bit of it is that she wanted it on the wall, not on a thing. So I bought a bracket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now, just to finish her piece off, so Sunday night she went to a friend's house. I did not say a thing. She has $9 left in her account.
Yes.
I had no idea how she was going to get lunch. She hadn't thought about it. I thought,
I love
I don't
this.
care. You're going to have to
Yes.
work it
The
out.
pain.
Because we didn't reach out. I didn't do any of that.
Yes.
And I still don't know how she ate. Or
Yes.
someone, she probably had a friend or something help her out. I don't know.
Okay.
Because there was no money left, unless she did it for $9. She could have done it for $9.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Possible.
So understanding that if I do that, I feel like there's learning to come. If I do that, I can't do this. So the other thing she's worried about, her phone is going to die. And I said, well,
And you feel guilty, don't you? Like a little bit
the
or
bit
not?
that I'm not happy
Yeah, where
is
do
that
you
I
feel?
upgraded.
Yes. So this is my total approach with Tilly. She's 17. Like before you go and walk into that Harvey Norman, you know what she's going in for. It's like, Tilly, I'm not giving you any more money for anything else.
Yeah.
Do what you will. We can go and have a look. If what you want isn't the right thing,
We walk. Go
it's
home.
like it's an information gathering session, right?
That
you can
is
get what you want.
Exactly right. That's what I wish I had done.
Because you've set this is boundaries. You've got set it before you've gone in instead of dealing with it in the moment.
Yeah.
Like I cannot enter a shop without her. Like she almost doesn't ask me anymore. And also with Tilly's journey, you know how you knew how much she got paid? Tilly would not tell me how much she gets paid. And she cried. She's just like, I've got no money. So she listened and she is saving I reckon she's just saving like a demon. And she now is protecting her money like anything.
Love that.
Like,
because she wants probably wheels because you
she
live
wants
in the
to
country.
get away from us.
Well, I don't reckon it's that, but she is limited living in the country of how to get to places. So
100%.
you can see how wheels are going to be super important. To her.
Yes, she's shocked me. But anyway, and then it's just like dealing with it constantly of because this is what adulting is all about. Like I know that Lily's not an adult and Tilly's not an adult yet, but
they need to learn the
they're
skills
learning
for adulting.
That's right. It's like we can't have it all and don't buy into everybody else that has it. You're the only one, Mum. You're the worst, Mum. My friend's mum. Oh my gosh. And then I swear they're all doing the same thing.
Of course they are all doing the same thing. So my only regret in that whole experience was that I didn't walk out of the shop. I did negotiate with her with some jobs at home, but I should have
So
walked
you
out.
need a plan every single time.
Well, walk out.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
That's
If
it.
someone else asked me and gave me that experience, I'd say, well, don't buy the thing at Harvey Norman and go home.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done.
Anyway, wasn't.
Anyway, but
we need to let go, but we also can't, like, that was your decision, then make her feel guilty about it too, because that was your decision.
No, and I haven't. I haven't.
But you can still bring it up and go, hey, next time we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
And like,
definitely.
move forward.
Definitely.
And I think that communication about how you're thinking and how you feel is still important, but without making it their fault.
Or being angry about it. That's right. Because it's not on her. It was my action that did it.
I did this.
Yeah.
Probably in retrospect I might not have, but this is where we're at. Next time probably don't want to do that. And, just save up for the things you want.
Exactly. Actually, just to finish there, the other thing that kids try, and just be aware of this, and I don't know whether anyone else's kids do this, is what she does is say, I'm not going to take my money and then you pay for it and I'll pay you back.
No.
I said, no.
That doesn't work for
me
either.
I was really
just keep
happy
driving
with that situation because she said, well, I've got some cash and I don't have all the money in my account. And I said, well, at Harvey Norman, they will split the bill, right? Because she had to give me the cash. So initially when it was $1.99, she gave me $80 in cash.
Yes.
And I said, right, well, then you're going to have to pay $120 on your card and I'll put $80. You give me the cash before you go.
Yes.
And she did that.
I think that is being resourceful, though, too, of Lily, because you have to be thinking it's not like, because you've got limited options. You've got what you've got and she's trying to make it work as well. So I kind of give kudos to that a bit. But we don't, I think you don't want to be a credit card.
No, that's right. I do not.
You don't want to be afterpay or buy now, pay later. And
the other thing is, though, it's more about the learning. I am going to follow this through. Hold me to it, podcasters and Mel.
All right.
Because I feel her phone is going to die between now and the end of the year. And
what you gonna do?
Because I've suggested maybe just saving some of her pay, and then if that happens, she'll be prepared, right? That's contingency planning. We talk about it all the time. I do have an old phone that's got a broken screen. I could give her that.
Yeah, I think that's great. Just word her up. If that breaks, you've got that.
This is
Here
what
you go.
you
Don't worry, you've got one.
I'll go without. So that is going to hurt.
That's always been my tactic. I sound like I am the most cruel human.
Yeah.
But like because
you watch finish that and then go to your truth.
Yeah. So I always bought my kids crappy phones, like a Nokia, like seriously. And my kids were so embarrassed. And I'm like, well, you upgrade that yourself. And then I haven't had the problem.
Do you know, though, I've never bought decent phones either. I've always been a believer of that. So Logan had a really old phone. He never asked for much. So he just had it the whole time, and he was a stingy person, like as far as not spending money, and that's a very bad saying, those people out there. But he would just make do. Where Lily didn't want the old phone that I offered, so she saved her money up for that phone.
Yes, important.
And I said, rightio, and she's looked after that phone because of that, I'd say.
So this is this is a good segue into my what I wanted to talk about, my truth today. And it was more about values and like what I like spending my money on. Because I would say in general, I do hold the purse strings and I'm like, nah, keep driving. I don't need to stop and get takeaways, whatever, driving home, make myself a sandwich. I'm fine with that. Like I'm like, I totally actually get motivated by that.
Same. I like that too.
And but then I think about there's some things that I spend a lot of money on that I would do I have no regrets over. Like my number one thing is going to see Taylor Swift in concert.
Yep.
And I was very, very lucky to have the tickets gifted to me. I think because Taylor didn't do stupid ticket prices. So like I think they were $89 tickets anyway. And I took my friend's daughter and she said, you have the tickets, but you pay for the flights and the accommodation. The accommodation for one night was $1,000, and then we bought all the merch, and maybe I spent $2 or $3 grand on Taylor Swift, like to get there, do the things, like everything was a premium, and it was like 4 hours of my life. Thank you, Taylor.
That's amazing.
Like, literally, I don't know if I'll ever see a better concert in my life. I remember dancing in the stands, and I think I was shuffled. I had a really sequiny dress on, and like I was rubbing up against everybody, and they all had rashes, and everyone had moved 2 meters down the line because I was like dancing so hard, but like having the best night of my life with those girls. Like it is the best memory. I will be so thankful for, and I would have paid more. Yes. Would I pay double? Maybe I'd question that, but I don't care about the money I spent on that.
Yeah.
And then I am training for a marathon at the moment, went and bought myself new shoes, signed up to a few cool apps, paid my, the entry fee, all that stuff. I don't know what I'll end up. Maybe I'll spend probably realistically to run the marathon, it's going to cost me $700 or $800, which to me, I'm like, I don't just go, I'm going to spend $700 or $800 on myself, but I'm like,
you're valuing what you're doing.
100% value it. I'm like, those type of things, I'm like, take my money. But in the everyday sense, I'm like, you can't have my money.
But first of all, it is your money. And second of all, living your life in line with your values, money's the means that we need to contribute to that in most cases. So that's what it's all about. That's what makes people happy. It's not about, putting every cent away, or maybe for some people it is, putting it away till I retire. But we want to live and make memories. And if we're doing that in line with our values, then we've got our best chance. Yep. So that's what it's for. It's not, people say, not to take it with you.
Yeah. Anyway, they're the things that I've enjoyed spending my money on. Anyway, cool. So today we wanted to spend like a bit of time talking about something that we see coming up quite a bit, that it's a very significant part of our business at the Money Collective. When people are going through a significant life change, they'll come to us for help. And particularly we see a lot of that being separation and divorce. And people looking to navigate that section of their lives. And people are coming to us at all stages of this, usually late, I would say. When I say late, it's for sure, it is happening. We have in negotiations, we pretty much know what we need. And now I just need to figure out, can I keep the house, or what are my options? So, and then from that point, it still takes a significant time to resolve.
Significant, because it depends on, sometimes they might have engaged, say lawyers, and sometimes not. So there's still a lot of journey in front of them to get to an agreement with an ex-partner.
So I just think about that like in actually like a time frame. I'm like, if you're with somebody, it's not like that to get to that point, that is probably years. Like you've lived with somebody and there's writing on the wall, there's some red flags, and you're like, this may not work out. What are my options? And you start thinking, what am I going to do? What's my exit plan? What would I do if this doesn't work out? And I think that they are really reasonable questions to be asking yourself throughout life.
I'd actually, a TMC philosophy on that is actually, for a healthy relationship, have those conversations as well. Because, I don't know, my belief is that if we do that, we probably make our bond stronger anyway, rather than us thinking it's going to do the opposite. If your relationship's strong, it should be able to withhold that, and it actually brings that bond closer together, and maybe it won't happen.
So you're literally saying, talking about it with your partner.
I am.
Hey, what would we do if? Who gets what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it stops. You think about how much effort and time we spend just thinking in our minds about lots of things and the energy
100%.
we waste. It's done.
So like, I come to you and I go, Darlene, I want to leave you.
Yeah.
We're not actually married to each other, but let's say we were.
Yeah.
And then Darlene, you might say to me, oh, I was thinking the same thing, or, this is what my thoughts were. And then you're like, oh, light bulbs. And then you can start collaborating, and then you might actually start liking each other a little bit more, possibly.
Oh, I reckon. That's my theory.
or they'll justify. The truth will come out, right?
And that might make the decision.
Right.
It can't be bad. It cannot be bad.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand.
It literally can change the course of the outcome by talking about it early. It's never too early. And that's why I'm saying too, it's never too early to talk to us or get personal advice or know what your options are. And that might help you make the decision too. I think in finance, people don't engage a finance professional because they're worried about taking up their time. Right. And it's very true a lot of the times. Like, don't come until you're ready, But I don't think that that's a great way. And it's not very. It's not a great way. Because what will happen is you'll make assumptions in our brain which aren't based on fact, unless you know how to get that information that you need. And then you go and you plan in your brain without the facts that you need.
The sooner you've done your own numbers, and then you might engage someone to go through those numbers and maybe what the process could be and different pathways forward, the more information you've got, for you to work through what the future is. But I'm thinking of, scenarios that I've had where people have come sooner for the planning, and particularly, and I don't want to stereotype, but say you're a female partner, and you might work part-time. And when you've done your numbers and the cost of living and saying, well, how it actually helps you plan on how much you need to earn to be able to make life work. It's almost like a reverse engineering, like, okay, depending on what scenario, what would it take for me to keep the mortgage? How much do I need to bring into the household? Or if I sold it and I bought something smaller with a, lesser mortgage, or maybe I rent, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you should run all those scenarios and understand what it would take to be able to do that. And that's very early days. You should be doing that.
And
way
let's say you've got all those options, right?
Yeah.
I think there's two levels of it. It's like financially, what are my options? What's viable? What's realistic? But then what are my values and how do I want to live my life? Like, do I want to be doing that? What checks my actual life boxes? Yeah. Am I prepared to be overcommitted to a big mortgage because it's going to give me things that I really want? Like, as in I want to maybe keep the house, stay in the same area, not disrupt my kids. Or it's like, no, I really don't want to be under that pressure and stress. My highest value is to live this life where I can actually feel not under all of that pressure, and I don't mind downgrading what I have, right? So this is where we've got to be really true about ourselves instead of like worrying about what we think is the right thing to do as far as the perceived the outside in view of like other people's thoughts.
Definitely. I do see, because it's such a turmoil time to go through a separation, I do see sometimes it could be worth having a staggered approach. And if you can keep the house, even though that's not your end game when you've done your numbers and your values and what it's like, sometimes it could be an option just to, settle the first step, in the financial separation, and then go and do something else. But again, you have to look, I often use a saying a mentor gave me, north, east, south and west. You have to do every different scenario and see what feels right for you in your gut. Coming back to that planning of how much money I might need to earn, depending on that situation and which one you decide, you might need time to get more hours of work. You might need time. So if you did that, I believe that you would actually go into a separation with a little bit less stress. I'm sure it's stressful all round, but, depending on what sort of personality you are, planning can really help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to help immensely.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Everybody is so different, and it depends on what that relationship is like
as well.
and who you're in that relationship with and who you're trying to, is there communication? Is this amicable? Am I in an abusive relationship? Have I been financially abused? Do I not know anything about my numbers for the very first time and I'm learning about it? How do I get that information? How do I stand up to somebody that I've never stood up to before? How do I feel empowered? Those are things and skills that you might need first to actually start taking the right steps.
So true.
And the most important thing is to move out of, because it's a very emotional time, but the more information we can arm ourselves with, like even being able to log into bank accounts, having visibility, and you might not be able to get visibility honestly on everything. I think that happens a lot, not knowing what the other person's numbers are.
If you've got separate bank accounts, how do you know?
That's right.
You're only going to be able to know on joint accounts or what's in your name.
100%. So hang on, if we've got like young people who are listening right now who are starting out in a relationship with somebody, it's so important.
Get visibility of everything in
your
your
what's
household.
going on. You don't need to control everything. You don't want to control other people. It's not about control, and we don't want to be controlled, but we just need all the information, because once we have that, then we can actually work on goals together. Otherwise, we do feel controlled, and it's not a good recipe for success in a relationship sense.
Well, that's very, you got mistrust before you do
advice I
anything
can
else.
give you. And it's like the biggest cause of like marriage breakdown is money.
That's right. We definitely see situations where not all the money in the household is on the table and people don't know what the other person might have, or they might be protecting money that their partner doesn't know. So again, is that a recipe for good relationship and the future?
And how do we build trust with each other? And what about this one? What about if we've already gone through it, you've been taken to the cleaners, had a bad experience, walked away with nothing,
second relationships. Yeah.
You want to go start another relationship where you like, and your brain will say maybe to you, protect, don't let them in, don't let this ever happen again. You know, it's really hard to be vulnerable in a new relationship. You want to, and to give it its best shot, or do you just be single forever? That's also another choice. You know, so money in relationships is hard.
It's a real thing too. As long as it's not financial abusive and you know, there's not control going on, then being honest and open about those feelings, and that, you know, maybe there is a sense that I need to just have some money separately for those things, and maybe both partners could do that, but still know and be open that exists in case. So, I mean, even if you have a joint, say you have a home and you have a joint home loan, you know, if you've got a multiple offset structure set up where you can put savings in different names, and some of your banking jointly and some of it separately, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't have visibility of that. But it does mean, you know, maybe that's part of your joint plan.
You've
if
got
things
an
don't work
exit
out.
strategy from the beginning.
Be honest with each other. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And be open about that.
Yeah. Okay. What about if we're at that point in our relationship and we're like this, we've decided we're calling it quits and it's getting ugly, it's messy. And let's just say you're working part-time, you've never been responsible for the mortgage, it gets ugly, and the other person walks away and decides not to stop paying the mortgage. I'm not paying that. You're staying in the house, you've got the kids, I'm not paying that mortgage. What do you do?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Very hard. Because
and what are the outcomes of that?
Right. Because if the mortgage doesn't get paid, the bank could be on your back about how the repayment's going to be made. So when you enter into a loan contract with a bank, it's called jointly and severally liable. So you've got a loan with, you know, your spouse, for example. What that means is that the bank can contact you or, you know, pursue you to repay the full debt. And it can also pursue the other person to repay the full debt. So it's not half-half. They're not going to chase half for you and half for the other person. It's all on everybody, really.
That's right. You're fully responsible for the entire debt individually.
Yeah. So that can have huge repercussions. If you can't pay that loan, then if and when you're going through the financial separation and that loan history shows that you've missed repayments, then that can make it really difficult for you to get a loan in the future at a reasonable interest rate at all.
And this happens in real time because the banks have comprehensive credit reporting into a central place where every single month, have you paid on time? Is it up to date? Every single month, and they'll know if you've missed 1 month, 2 months, and then that will impact your credit rating and your credit score and your ability to borrow money in the future. So we don't want that to happen. So avoid it at all costs. So early communication and understanding about this is really important. And then if it is looking like not great, you want to be talking to the bank straight away because we don't want to let the loan fall into arrears without being in a negotiation with the bank.
That's really important.
And that would be a worst case. You know, we want to avoid that from happening if we can.
Definitely. If, you know, you can get interim court orders about agreements around who is to pay for what as well. Now, even if that isn't followed through with and the loan still goes into hardship, it can still be difficult to get future loans, but at least you can build your case and you've got evidence of what was agreed, which could help, you know, in a business case to get the bank to, you know, make an exception for the situation.
So be proactive.
Be proactive. Don't just let it happen.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Get support
Mm.
around you. I think that's really important, whether it's professional or, from those people around you as well.
So if we just sum this up, Mel, what would be a key takeaway that we want our podcasters to have?
Communication is really important from early on in the relationship. Having visibility on your money is really important. And having a plan is really important.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
And know your options.
Yeah.
Know your options.
Yeah. And that's it. That's it. Yeah. And, if you want to talk more about that, you can certainly reach out to the Money Collective and we can, support you. Be empowered and educated. That's it.
That's it. Cool. So, next segment that we want to move on is all around how our money story affects our outcomes, like our financial outcomes.
This is our education segment. Yes.
Yes. At the end, we want to put a TMC view on something, right? Because we've got so many opinions.
Oh my gosh!
Like, what does
made
TMC think of like this?
The TMC philosophy of like a million different things.
That's right.
This is our education segment,
right?
And today is TMC's view and talk about actually what money story is. And you would have heard before, but we can never talk about this enough because it impacts the way we behave with money.
Right.
It's the number one thing that impacts us.
It's like the thing that is when you wonder where you are in life right now, like when you think about your financial outcomes, like why is this always happening to me, or why do I keep doing the same thing, or surely I should be better off than what I am. Like that thing, that commentary that's going on in your brain around that is your money story. That is feeding you and keeping you in the same loop.
Yep.
And it is so powerful.
And it can be paralyzing, or that's why you make decisions.
Empowering.
Or
it could be good or bad.
That's right. It doesn't mean money stories are bad. It's just being able to know yours and understand how you can join the dots on the behaviors you make because of those stories. If you understand your beliefs and why you believe what you do, then you can choose what to keep and what to let go of, what's serving you well and what's not.
If you think about your goals or your finances and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you've got anxiety rising, you've got something going on internally that you need to reflect on, because you will go to the grave with the same outcomes unless you release yourself from the pressure. And a lot of it comes from a little voice in your head, and it's very subconscious. It's so hard to bring awareness to this, but it's something that you probably heard early on in life, or you got some advice, or I actually spoke to a girl recently, and she'd inherited money from her grandmother, and her grandmother said, don't waste it. Keep your independence and don't waste your money. Oh my gosh.
How she played out her life.
Right? So what our parents or our grandparents or the way that they support us keeps us in, we don't want to let them down. We don't want to let these people who have nurtured us, basically dedicated their lives to help you not screw it up, let them down. But like if we literally think about that example, like that grandmother doesn't want that person to be paralyzed and not make decisions
and have a good relationship and be happy
around having all this money. Like it's ridiculous, and we know like that's ridiculous, like when we think about it, but we don't think about it, and then we just stay doing the same behaviors.
And definitely another common one, Mel touched on, was that I just think I should have been further ahead than I am. What does that even
told you
mean?
that?
Why do you believe that? Like what is it really about?
Said because you're judging yourself. Like maybe somebody else around you or other people are doing better, or your parents did better.
Or it could be the opposite.
Yes.
That they didn't have, and I should be,
I don't want to be like them. I don't want their outcomes. Could
definitely be that. There's no linear, like you can have different views from, we see that all the time, siblings grow up in the same household, completely different money stories. And they grew up and seen and heard the same things, but had their interpretation in your mind and how that goes in, it could be very different.
So we project on ourselves early what we think we should have. And also like we hear, also like education and things like that. Like, I'm going to give you the best education. You're going to go and get a university degree so that you can have this life that you love.
Yep.
So you can buy bags and go skiing down winter slopes and have your house paid off. Like, our parents can put these expectations on us.
Definitely.
Go and get a good job so you're financially independent. What if you're not?
And then you put
And
your
whose
self-worth.
ideas were those?
Because
They were never yours.
But you put it's all actually linked to our self-worth. Let's be honest, right? So it's all where you perceive that your self-worth is coming from or should come from.
I'm better or worse than what I should be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And literally, if you go and tick all those boxes and follow that course of life, you're not even living your own life.
Oh, I've got that experience.
You get to the end and you're like, I didn't even like that, but I have all the things.
Right? Yeah.
Like, we have to be brave enough to step out of it and kind of go,
yep.
Screw you guys.
You do. And you just have to, again, it's like peeling. So a tip, and I would have talked about this before, is to journal your money story, because people always start off on the surface. They start off with, the basic things that they might say, like you might have heard, things at home. So, for example, your parents might have said money doesn't grow on trees. You can't take it with you. Save money for a rainy day. All those type of
money
things.
Debt is bad.
Oh, yeah, right. So all those things may have influenced us one way or another. It could have been a red rag to a bull and do the opposite, or it could be, yes, that belief is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
so, but if you start to journal, that is maybe as an idea to get started, is thinking about what those things that might have you in your growing up years, what might have been said. However, I challenge you just to keep writing, and undo the layers of what that's caused you to do in your life, and then go deeper and deeper till you can find the root cause. And this work there is no time frame. It depends on humans. It could take life, it could take a little bit, could take a lot. And just really quickly, for me, I grew up on a farm, so where land was very important to the
family,
the boys, boys in families, because they carried the family name, and then the inheritances of the land would always go to boys because of that. So how that played in my life, I won't go through all the details, but I always wanted to live up to my dad and show him that even though I was a girl, I could do it just the same as a boy, right? And so I did so many things in my lifetime to do that. I bought family property, I bought land, I've helped out families. I'll show you. I'll do it on my own. I am a co-founder of a finance company.
She had a banking career, decided to almost run the bank. I'll keep climbing those echelons up. I'll show you I know how to do money.
That's right. And the more I learned is you never reach that pinnacle anyway, so you never get there. You were
trying to prove something that no one was asking you to prove
not even
anyway.
Existent, right? And my dad, I know, loves me, but really when I unpacked all of that, was really about my self-worth and being seen equal in my dad's eyes. So that was super empowering for me. So, and what I've done as actions after that is sold all that land. And I feel really liberated, because finally I'm living my life, and it still creeps in, some of those things are really hard to let go of and shed. It still creeps in, like, I'm the problem solver of family things, or when it comes to money or whatever. But really trying to strip that away and simplify my life. But I'm more aware. I'm aware, and I don't do those things anymore. So, anyway, that's just one example. I don't want it to be all about me. So I would say money story is, if you are stuck and things aren't right, that is always the place it will be.
And it's super challenging, because it might for you to do growth might require boundaries, or you changing what you've done in the past, which can be hard for other people to adjust to. And so how you come at that and how long it takes, who knows? But be brave. And I think it's usually worth it in the long run. You will feel liberated.
Yeah.
But it can be hard work. I'm not saying that it's not. Yeah.
No. It's
It's
like
challenging.
the analogy to an athlete, isn't it? 90% is psychological and 10% is practical.
Yeah.
So we all know how to budget and set goals predominantly and,
but
save
this is
money.
where
But
we
why
get
don't
stuck. We get stuck here. That's
do.
right.
Yeah.
And then some people aren't stuck though. Some people have got like really healthy stories or whatever. And we see that and we think that everyone's like that, but we're not. And I think everybody's got a money story, every single person.
Everybody does.
Like, it's the thing about being human. It's like not money and capitalism, but like the things, we've all got things that are holding us back. Like, nobody is healed, like, honestly. But it's really funny because we are capitalists, how it plays out in this money life. You know, we can literally see the things that are holding us back from growth in ourselves can really be tracked by like what we're doing and the things that we have and the things that we want. And how do those things match up? Yeah. It is our self-worth.
It's all about self-worth, really. So, dig deep, understand where your self-worth is and why it is where it is and how do you work on that.
That's right. Neither of us have got psychological degrees.
No.
We are not professionals, but
No,
we are
just
very
from our
professional.
experience.
And speaking like literally,
and our lives.
it's our pure passion. And like have had thousands of conversations with people, and it's so fascinating to see how this all plays out and how to untangle it all. I feel like that's where you and I are at. It's like we can kind of see these threads and the work, that we're at individually. Like it helps us self-reflect too as well. So thank you to all the people who've had conversations with us, because I think that we're growing at the same time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a two-way street, and I feel like it's learning for life. Yeah.
So thanks for joining us today, and until next time, have a reflect on your money story and enjoy life.
At the Money Collective, we provide financial wellbeing, premium coaching, mortgage broking, and workplace financial wellbeing programs, which we couldn't do without the seamless support of our fabulous team.
If you'd like to find out more, head to themoneycollective.com.au or our socials to take action and engage our services. In our Facebook group, join the conversation and help us break down the taboo around money.
All content in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is generally in nature. For tailored personal advice, please seek out a professional.